Hey friends, I'm Kat. Welcome to my channel and welcome to a monthly reset. So we are in the first 2 days of November and I figured it'd be the perfect time to, just get life on track, figure out what I'm going to be doing with my life this month and clean up my physical space a little bit, because I am somebody who really notices that when my physical space is clean, when it is not cluttered, my mind is not cluttered. So we have a list of things that we're going to be trying to accomplish today, which is first I'm going to try to clean the house. This is going to be easy. It just is going to make me feel so good. Dishes to do. I want to vacuum. I have anybody with a German Shepherd, you know how that is a daily task, but it's fine. I have laundry to fold. I might do some more laundry. We'll see. I want to put away some of my Halloween decorations, which this hurts my heart. I love Halloween so much, but it's time. It's unfortunately past Halloween. I know my fiance is going to get angry if I don't, so it's time. So I'm going to put those away. I'll keep out the fall decorations. So I need to decide my TBR for the month. I don't know what I want to read. I want to bake some bread. I want to reset my makeup. So I want to do a shop my stash and switch over my makeup to some more fall inspired stuff. That will be a separate video which should be coming out later this week. So take a look, keep your eye out for that. I need to work out today. I want to go for a run, which will be my first back after injury. If I have time, I'm going to go walk to Shoppers and pick up some things that I need for the house. And also if I have time, I'm going to update my reading journal for October and November. So welcome to the channel and the video, and let's dive into this. Dishes are pretty much done, though I can guarantee I'm about to make so many more, which defeats the purpose, because I'm gonna make some bread and then I'm gonna make lunch. But we have a Panasonic bread maker, which I'm not gonna lie, probably the best gift I've ever received. We got it as a housewarming gift last year and I'm obsessed. It is one of my all-time favorite things now, and I love making bread. I love having fun with it, because one of my favorite things too is I like to add different herbs into it, different spices, spice blends, everything, and see what flavors I like the best. So I almost always make French bread. This is just our little recipe book. Really easy. It's just instant dry yeast, bread flour, whole wheat flour, salt, butter, and cold water. And super, super easy. It just takes 5.5 hours to cook. That's the only issue. And I'm not sure what kind of bread I want to make today. So the other day, I literally just used an Italian seasoning mix and it has been delicious. I don't know what I'm feeling today though. I'm out of my normal garlic and herb seasoning, which I kind of was using for a long time just to make garlic bread. I did use some of my fresh herbs from my garden the other day, which I do need to water that. I used a bunch of parsley from that the other day and a different loaf of bread I made. And that was it was so-so. I don't think that I used enough to really bring the flavor forward. And I also probably should have ground it a bit more thinly. So I don't know, maybe I'll use za'atar. We have a huge container that a friend brought us from Lebanon, so I think I'll use this. I feel that is kind of the vibe I'm feeling for today. So I'm just gonna go make myself some bread. else have a dog who always just has to lay exactly where you're going? Bread machine's there, so he had to come over and say hi. I really should remember to not wear white. Thankfully, I'm not like as covered, or really, I should remember to not wear black when I'm baking anything. I had like quite a bit of flour on me that thankfully wiped off pretty easily, but bread is on. I'm gonna make some lunch, I think, and then kind of dive into the rest of the day. I did just order a pair of shoes, thankfully. So my wedding's in like 5 days, which I know I've talked about before, but my wedding's in a few days, and I did just realize I don't own any white flats for it. We're doing like the most casual little courthouse wedding ever, but I do have a white dress, and you know, I wanted to have some nice shoes, and I realized like I only own sandals, which we're in November, it's gonna be a little iffy. So I ordered a pair of shoes off Amazon, and then also while I was there I got like some razors I needed and a few like energy chews that I want to start using when I'm biking or running, because I'm definitely noticing with biking, because I do an hour to an hour and a half a day. I've noticed that towards an hour in, I really am starting to need that energy boost or something. Like I need some kind of gel, but I'm not really quite ready to try a gel yet. So I'm using like little energy bite things that I'm gonna give a try. So yeah, those are coming in, but glad that I set a little order on. And yeah, I'm just gonna have lunch now and chill for a little bit. I've been just like super boring for the last like hour or two. Honestly, just doing like a lot of life admin and stuff on my laptop, which and like really nothing exciting. I worked on editing a video, I did a thumbnail, I posted on Instagram, and also kind of revised my posting schedule. So I'm someone who I like to be as organized as possible in like every possible way. And part of that is like I do a detailed schedule basically, well, every month at a glance. I do like an at a glance schedule. And then every Sunday I sit down and do a more detailed schedule. So that includes like so many different things in my life. But part of it too is like I plan out what I'm going to post on Instagram, and I make sure everything's filmed like a week in advance so that I really do not have to worry about that. Then especially on Sundays, I plan out my workouts for the week. So that way I'm like really never having to question what I'm going to do and when I will be able to do it. Because like I know for sure this week, Wednesday, if I want to work out, I have to do it right after work. Thursday, probably not going to work out unless I do first thing in the morning. Friday, I will not be. So it's like I have to take that into account and really try to plan around it to make sure that I'm still hitting like all these goals that I have. And I find that that really works like so well for me to like really keep things as organized as possible. And then getting back into YouTube, like I haven't been posting consistently. So getting back into that, it's another thing that I really have to like plan into my life. Like knowing for sure that today it's entirely devoted to filming this reset vlog. And then if I am going to do weekly vlogs, like what days are they going to hit? What things do I want to do during them? Like what time will I have to edit? Like I know tomorrow night I'll be able to, or today, like I was able to do the finishing touches on something. Like just really taking into account all of these periods that I have. I find that that helps me so much. And like very much is one thing that usually every Sunday I sit down for an hour or two and really go over my schedule and make sure that everything makes sense. Like even to like meal prep. I like to make sure that we have it. It doesn't have to be exact and things change, but just a general idea of what we might need to make and what I can make in advance. So it's not like this intensely strict schedule just at all, but it's more of an outline so that if there is ever that question or I don't know, at least I have something to fall back on, and it helps me intensely. So yeah, I do that every Sunday. And then usually first thing in the morning, I do a little like to-do list specifically for that day. And then also like adjust if there are certain things that like I know I will not be able to hit that day, or certain things that need to be moved around throughout the week. And yeah, it helps. helps so much for me, especially like anybody who's very busy with like jobs, content, workout, like all those different things. It really helps to balance it. So that is done. I do have more editing I want to do today, but right now let's actually go over to the bookcase and look at some of the things that maybe we want to read this month. Okay, so I'm planning on starting the month off with reading a fair amount of romances. I'm doing a little vlog right now where I'm just reading romances leading up to my wedding. We're gonna have like a fun little romantic time. So a few of the books that I really want to focus on this week, but also no matter what I want to have done by the end of the month. There's Not in Love by Ellie Hazelwood. It is a little like one of her sciencey STEMness romances between I think a scientist and somebody who works for a company that's trying to take over a company, and I think they start a physical relationship but have to keep it secret from their workplaces. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. So we're following two people. Both of them think they are cursed, that the person whoever they date, the next person that they date afterwards ends up finding their true love. So they find out about each other, I think through like Reddit or something, and end up deciding like, hey, let's go on a few dates together and let us break this curse. So it sounds really cute, and it's one that I think I've heard a lot of really good things about. So that gets me very excited. Then also The Rom-Commers by Catherine Center. So he is a screenwriter. She is hired by the company, I think, to come in and like improve the screenplay he's written, and he's not happy about it. And I think it's very enemies to lovers or very combative to lovers, but I'm excited. I'm excited to try that one too. Then I did already start this. I'm not super far in, but it is A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. She's probably one of my favorite writers at this point, and especially when we look at her like dark, twisted fairy tales, they are some of my favorite books. Like when we're thinking Nettle and Thorn and I think Thornhedge, they're two of my favorites. They're just very dark, twisty, and I feel like in the vein of how the original fairy tales actually were. So what I have read so far in this one, we are following a young girl, Cordelia. She is 14 and finds out that her mother is a sorceress, and basically like has realized that the way that she's been growing up is very different from everyone else, and that her mother has been extremely controlling, and she finally realizes that, oh, this isn't normal. Her mother's benefactor in town, aka the man who she exploits, has recently rescinded all his good fortune towards her. So they've decided to move to a new town where her mother is going to try and scam a man basically into marrying her and take his fortune. And that's where we're at right now. It's just they are at this new manor, and I believe it's going to be Cordelia and this man's sister trying to take down the sorceress. The other one off my physical TBR is Lady Macbeth by Ava Reid. Really excited to get to this one. Ava Reid's adult novels specifically have been like insane for me, which I think she's actually only done one, which was Juniper and Thorn. But that book has sat with me for so long now, and I really am hoping that this has the same like horror fantasy kind of vibes. I've never actually read Macbeth or seen any of the adaptations to it, so I don't really know the original source material at all, and I'm not sure if this is just like a reimagining of the story or if there's a spin on it or anything. So either way, it's gonna be all new to me. But apparently Lady Macbeth is a villainess, and this is giving her a voice, a past, and a power that transformed the story men have written for her. The edition is pretty, at least, too. And we have a few on my Kindle I want to get to. So very specifically, I want to read Quicksilver really badly. So this is by Kelly Hart, and I think it's a fae romance, but it's one that I am hearing a ridiculous amount about, and it has been very hyped. A lot of people seem to absolutely love this one. So yes, I want to get to it. I don't really know too much else aside from fae romance and vaguely that. Then also on Kindle Unlimited, I have Twisted Soul by Morgan Beatley. Ooh, that was a mess. But this is book 3 in a reverse harem wide shoes romance that is all about different magical creatures in this world. All magical creatures of a certain age have to go to this academy, and while there they are put, like, they have these fate destined quintets that they are put into, which has one leader and 4 other members, and you have to be in this quintet to like break a magical curse that's on you. It's a very complicated, it's not even that complicated, it's just complicated for me to describe because I am terrible at these types of descriptions. But we are following a group where the main lead person in the quintet does not want to be there because she is at this academy for ulterior motives, and we are slowly like learning her story. And I think honestly these are going to be the only books that I set like strictly on my TBR, because I know that midway through this month the Goodreads award nominees for 2024 are going to be coming out, and I'm insane and I tend to try to read the top 20 in several different areas. So there is definitely going to be a very large focus on that in the second half of the month, which I will be vlogging, and I'm excited for it. I'm very excited. It just, we will find out when the nominees are released like how many I have to read and how absolutely insane it's going to be but I'm still excited for it. So yeah, that's a quick seven books on my TBR, which I think is pretty reasonable. I also tend to read like anywhere between 20 and 30 books a month, as long as it's like a normal month. So yeah, well, I'll definitely be reading significantly more than that. I finally decided to get around to working out. So it's like much later on in the night, had dinner, now it's time. Just gonna do like a fairly easy pull session, and then like my first run since I injured my hamstring, which was quite a while ago. And yeah, it's been like 2 months. I think I'm ready to try running again. So today we're just gonna do a very, very chill like interval jog. I did my first leg workout yesterday, like since I've hurt myself too. And oh, that was humbling to say the least. It is shocking like how much strength I've lost. But yeah, I'm gonna get into this right now, get it over with and get on with my night. We're also just like at the point where it's already so cold in our garage, strong hand. It's so cold that I'll be working out in lots and lots of bundles for a little bit. I don't want to turn on the space heater. I don't want to admit that it's time, but it almost is. Okay, man, that felt insanely good. So I did my first like incline pull up on the TRX band. So like you're at an incline pulling yourself up. Felt so good. I've been afraid for so long to try those because like for some reason I was convinced it wouldn't support my weight, but we had no difficulties today. And like even better than that, like I could fully do 3 sets of 10. So I mean like with difficulty, like let's be serious, but I could still do it. And that felt fantastic. And then I also did my first run back since I injured my hamstring 2 months ago, and I took it super easy. So it was only 2.5 kilometers and I was doing some walking and running intervals, but man, that felt so good. And zero pain, which was my big fear, is that it would hurt, but zero pain. I just feel fantastic. I also was trying out, like I got a new pair of Asics, honestly like right before I injured myself, and I haven't had a chance to use them yet. So that was my first time running in them, and oh, I can like notice the difference like crazy. I honestly think that like my injury was probably because I was using the wrong footwear. I have this one pair of shoes that I need to get rid of because I kind of bought them without looking too much into it, and they are not the type at all that support my like super flat feet. So when I'm running, they're kind of like turning inward, and I'm pretty sure that the like one run I went on wearing those ones, these aren't the Asics by the way, they're like New Balance. I'm pretty sure the one run I went on with those is what caused my injury, but I'm happy to be back. I feel fantastic. So it's like what time, 7:30 now, 7:30, something like that. I am gonna go do an everything shower. I'm gonna do a hair mask, face mask, and shave because I have a laser hair removal appointment tomorrow. So you know, you have to shave the night before just to be prepped. I'm also gonna like scrub everything and moisturize and just feel fantastic. And yeah, I have some laundry to fold, and then when we're done, depending on how I feel, I'm either going to spend a bit of time on my reading journal, like might just feel in an artsy mood and like doing some of that, or we're gonna read a little bit. Either way, I'm feeling fantastic about today. And that honestly, just getting that run in and knowing that it didn't hurt feels so amazing. We'll see tomorrow, like if I have any difficulties in my legs. If I'm feeling sore, I'm gonna again like probably take a bit more time off, and if it feels like I'm kind of struggling to move, I'll take some more time off. It was one of those things, like the injury, I primarily feel it when I'm walking upstairs. So if I'm having any difficulty with that tomorrow, we're gonna take a little break and reassess, but I feel so fantastic.